Hey you, let's shift our reality. Hey y'all, it's me Lonnie from ilovelonnie.com or Talk Lonnie the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And the question is, should you be making more income or should you be making less bills? So you can figure that out by seeing where all of your income is going. Your debt to income ratio is basically the amount of money you have coming in versus the amount of money you have going out. What is that looking like? So one of the easiest ways that I do to determine all of these things is to take your net income, which is the amount of income that you have after all of your taxes and deductions, and then subtract your expenses, which is basically all your bills and anything that you pay monthly. The amount you're left over is your disposable income. Now, first, let's just say if it is positive, let's just take a little moment to give thanks to spirit and to the universe, because that means you were able to pay all of your bills, even if you have just $1 left over. Now, if it is negative or if you just want more money, there's always room for improvement, of course. And one thing that you can do is a recommended guide, which is the 50-30-20 rule. You might have heard of that. And it's like a budgeting strategy to use. They say 50% of your income should be going towards your needs, 30% of your income should be going towards your wants, and then 20% of your income should be going towards savings. So, of course, this is different for everybody, but it's just like a little guide. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Like, who really wants 90% of their income going towards bills and to be comfortable? So I would say it's a good guide to try to work off of. So what we're going to do is take all of our expenses, bills, everything that you pay, and we're going to separate it into two categories. You're going to put it in a needs category. You're going to put it in a wants category, one or the other. But we're going to take everything we pay in and put it in one of the two categories, including the amounts as well. Now we're going to start with the wants. We're going to try to figure out where we can free up, some income. We're going to start with the wants because those are things that is more wiggle room. The needs are the things that are more required, harder to change, things that we have to have, like your rent, your car payment, insurance, utilities, those type of things, that we just can't get away from paying. The wants are going to be things that you think you have to have, but you really don't. Like streaming services, eating out, buying clothes, shopping, traveling, just all of those things that are not requirements. Okay, so we're going to start off with the wants. So you have your wants list, you got all the amounts and everything. So we're going to go over and examine it thoroughly. Now, it is up to you to make sure you are being honest, mature, responsible with this list. It is not up to me. You got to know what you're paying and where you're willing to, responsibly make changes at. So that's all on you. Make sure you add in everything too. So streaming services, do you have to have 10? Can you just do 5 or 3? Or can you partner with a family member and they pay these services, you pay these services? Can you go down to the lowest plan of your streaming services, whether it's with ads or, whatever their lowest option would be to help you save money? Can you bundle it with your phone bill? Some of these phone services kind of offer the streaming services now at a cheaper rate. So can you get it through your phone company? Can you not eat out as much? Can you take a certain amount and budget it for groceries instead of eating out all the time? Instead of going out of town every week, can you go out of town every other week or once a month or something like that? Can you bring somebody where y'all can go half on the gas? I don't know. I'm just thinking of different things. Anything that's going to help you save some money. Can you not shop every week? Can you do every other week or once a month, or just shop less with a lesser amount? So just different things that you have to be honest with yourself to determine, where you might be overspending or where you could be spending more responsibly in certain areas. So that would be up to you to determine. Once you have examined that list and made those changes, then we can work on the needs list. Needs are a little bit harder to change, as I said, but it can be changed just depending on how you do it. Rent and mortgage. Mortgage, can you refinance your mortgage payment? Rent, are you living somewhere reasonably priced? Can you move? Do you need to move? Do you need to get a roommate? Um, for car payment, I would just say if you don't have to refinance, try not to refinance unless you're going to refinance where it's benefiting you, not just on the car payment, but like interest, if you're paying less, that type of refinance with a shorter term, which is a whole different topic. But if they're going to stretch your term out where you end up paying more interest, just make sure you only doing that if you just really have to have that money. Now, if you have to have it, do what you got to do because they do be saving you a lot of money when you do the refinance. So, but let that be your last resort. Insurance. Are you getting the best insurance? Can you change your deductible? I'll be so finicky about that. But look, if you have to, do you need to change your deductible to be a little bit higher to get you a lower rate? Or can you ask them, do they have different discounts? Whether it's a student or employer discount or just the I've been with you for a long time discount, whichever discount you could think of, but closed mouths don't get fed. It does work, so just ask them. And sometimes if you tell them that considering another company, sometimes they even help you out too. But if they don't help you out, then look, you might need to consider another company. So make sure that, I would say, make sure you go with the current company first and see if they can help you out. And then if not, then shop around and make sure you're getting the best deal. Can you bundle services? Some companies offer discounts when you get multiple services with them, whether it's like homeowners or renters insurance along with your car insurance, things like that. Some of those offer discounts. Can you do an auto pay? Some companies offer discounts when you do an auto pay. I know that might be frowned upon, but let's be honest. Auto pay is frowned upon due to bad budgeting. Trust me, I've been there before. But let's get to the point where we are not scared of auto pay because the money is going to be there, right? Now, can you save in paying in advance, like the yearly? A lot of people offer you discounts when you pay in full instead of paying monthly. Always examine that as an option. I know it might seem like you're paying more because you're paying more upfront, but you end up saving in the end. Okay. Now, once you have evaluated your needs and your wants, so you've made all the changes that you can make, then the next option would be to increase your income if you're still looking for more. Now, you can go to your job and you could ask for a raise or promotion. You could ask to work more hours or work overtime, those type of things, or pick up a second or a third job or a little side hustle. If you don't want to have to do that, you can always switch jobs altogether. Find a job that is going to pay you more money to where you could be comfortable and make sure that your bills are taken care of. So those are also options. You can invest your money, whether it's in a 401k, a CD, IRA, a savings account that pays interest. So try to find you a bank account that pays you for using their services. So even if it's some change, it's a saying that one of my old managers used to say. He used to be like, cornbread is better than no bread. I love that because it's so true. Something is better than nothing at all. So if your savings account is growing by some change every month, that's better than not saving or it not growing, right? It's better than using an account where it's only just sitting there with whatever you put in it. So I would take a little cup of change every month versus nothing at all. So cornbread is better than no bread. We're not going to complain. You can invest in stocks. That's also a slower growth over time. But like I said, cornbread is better than no bread. And then you can, of course, save. So they say you should be saving 20%, but I always say cornbread is better than no bread. So even if you are saving $5, a dollar, or some change, it's better than not saving nothing at all. Okay. Now, I remember years ago, I actually was saving nothing but change in like single dollars. This is when I used to spend more cash back then. I used to love breaking a bill. I used to be so excited to break a bill just so I can take the change in the single dollars and drop it into my piggy bank. And when I tell you I did that for a few years, by the time I cashed it in, I had like over 600 something dollars to cash in, and it came in handy at that time too. It was lovely. Now mind you, all of that was just from change. Just drop it and forget about it. Like, don't think about it, just drop it in there. Don't try to be dumping it out, because I've been there before too. I done had to dip into it before a couple times, and anytime I did that though, I tried to double up and replace it. I will replace what I took out and then add to it. So try to be like disciplined with it, basically. So if you do have to go in there due to an emergency, just try to put it back and put more back in there. But try not to, though, if you can. And then that will add up. And that's a form of saving, and is better than not saving at all. So I would say the goal is the 20%, but try to save as much as you can, even if it's a couple dollars here and there. We paying all of these bills every single month, paying all these people, but sometimes we choose not to pay ourselves. Like, no, if they're gonna get paid, we should be getting paid too. And if pay yourself, okay? So make sure that, and they say you should pay yourself first, really. They say you're supposed to be paying yourself first before you even pay all your bills. I personally, because if I pay myself first before I pay my bills, the bills is not getting paid, okay? They is not about to get paid, or not properly. So I prefer to just get that out the way, and then I'll be left with, I'll work with what I'm left with. But if it was up to me just to give myself what I want, then y'all ain't gonna be able to get what y'all want. So not saying I can't do both, but I'm gonna be greedy with it. But basically, try to save as much as you can. Try to examine your list. That will be how you could determine how to free up some more money. Next option would be to increase your income. Watch my next video where I'm going over the spreadsheet, and it's a little quick tutorial on how to budget your bills in the spreadsheet. Don't be scared of the spreadsheet. I used to be scared of spreadsheets too, until I really learned how to use one properly, and now it's just the best thing ever for me. So watch my the video on the spreadsheet. That's going to go over how to use it. It's going to break down the 50-30-20 rule using the spreadsheet as well. And then watch the other two videos, which is going to be how to pay your bills without overdrawing your bank account, and then also how to pay your bills monthly and in advance. So those are two separate videos. But I hope you got some out of it. Good luck to you. Good luck to your bank account, and I'll see you in the next video.